My Lord, perhaps, you see, my Lord, at times, and I'll have to join Mr. Mgomezulu's sentiment, I'm not that kind of a person. My Lord has got a tendency to be impatient.
I'm not impatient.
I'm sorry, I had to put
you.
it, my Lord.
Look, if I'm wrong,
yes,
I admit, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you yourself, you said your client was Ed Velaria, and said, unless you say he was not there, fine. Then I withdraw everything.
Because the other evidence that we need to hear, and that's been the trend, we need to hear it from the clients. Instead of the court saying, did you say so? Because he's going to say yes, because the court is validating that answer for the witness.
No, I'm not. Just quoting the evidence, as you have admitted.
We are part of this evidence, my Lord. We read the same evidence, we hear the same evidence that His Lordship is hearing.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel Twist&Turn with Neville. If it's your first time joining me, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the love and support. And hey guys, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be at 1,700 subscribers. And thank you very much for your love, your support, and everything that you have been doing for the channel. Thank you a lot. Thank you very much. Now on today's video, if you have seen that clip in the beginning, you'll realize what this is not something new. This is not something new. It's something that happens every time in that courtroom, especially where Judge Rata is presiding and Advocate Baloyi. Anything is possible there. And when you see such things, you should know what everything goes down south very fast there in that courtroom. And one thing I like very much about the 23rd of May proceedings, Ramusipili was still, because it was after Advocate Mgomezulu was cross-examining that host, cell phone expert guy, and now Ramusipili took the stand right after Advocate Mgomezulu, and a lot came out. In fact, there are too many inconsistencies about the story of this cell phone accused number 2, because njengobubonile laphayana ijaji liba that confrontation with Ramusipili, it's because they were now seeing the holes that Ramusipili was poking. So now, one thing I am really grateful for is that he came prepared during that cross-examination. Some errors were identified on Ho's document, which are the 205s from the Vodacom. And the 205 of the people who were in the house were not done. But then, I guess it's because the instruction that came from Gininda that they should do the 205 of the guys who are in this docket called 636. And if you ask yourself, why would they not allow, or why would they not do a section 205 on the people that were in the house? Because the people that were in the house, they are witnesses, and among those people there are people who are eyewitnesses. Remember, Advocate Tifo is the one that brought up the docket 375, because apparently, allegedly, it seems as if that docket 375 besebayinyathelile nje kuyinto ekungeke ize ibone the light of day. But then thanks to Advocate Tifo, because he's the one that exposed docket 375, and after that docket 375 there was a lot of noise. That is why there's all this confusion that is going on, people believing that people who are before the court today, those accused, are the ones who took out Senzo's life. And those people, yes, some of them, they do have offenses and they do have whatever that they have done, but they are not the guys who pulled the trigger for Senzo to lose his life. Now, one key question asked by Ramusipili was when he asked, what is the first thing that happens when the suspect is booked into the cells? Does the suspect get searched to ensure that no contrabands go into the cells? These questions he asked concerning the cell phone that is said to have been mysteriously registered in Pretoria North Cell Tower. How on earth can someone's cell phone who is in the cells be registered on a cell phone tower? Because when you get into the cells, supposedly it's supposed to be done like that. You are supposed to be searched and your items are placed in a bag or wherever. And I think this is what I think a cell phone is switched off and placed securely somewhere safe where you'll get it if you get a chance to come out of that place. But in this case, we see this cell phone accused number 2 pinging the towers and whatnot, and then the judge takes the stand and joins Advocate Baloyi to destroy what Advocate Ramusipili was trying to build, because whatever it is that the state was building by bringing Ukhozi, it didn't even succeed, because now we see Uguchi, the truth is coming out and all the things that they are doing are not adding up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing go on again on the next witness that they might call. From this point on, after that, those questions that Ramusipili asked, there was that confrontation that you saw in the beginning where Advocate Baloyi objected, and then Judge Naye stepped in to help Advocate Baloyi. This whole thing it's sad because it reflects a bad image of our justice system in the whole world. All the people around the world who are watching this case, who are following these proceedings, I'm sure that wherever they are, when they see all that show that is going on, all they are asking themselves is, but then there's nothing that we can do. The only person who's calling the shot, Advocate Baloyi, no Judge Rata, mngani wakhe. But then it is what it is. But one question one would ask themselves is, if accused number 2 was in the cells, who was in possession of that cell phone yaga accused number 2? Who was in possession of accused number 2's cell phone? Because it kept on pinging on that tower that is in Pretoria North, Valeria, and it is allegedly mentioned by Ukhozi that tower is closer, maybe it's about 150 or 200 meters or whatever, but that's not the case. Who was in possession of that phone? Who was in possession of that phone? But now Advocate Baloyi and Judge Rata, they are all playing that show, and the ringleader himself, Judge Rata, is the one who's making things difficult for the defense. But I'm glad, because Advocate Mngome Zulu destroyed whatever Advocate Baloyi was trying to build. Now we see Ramusipili going along the footsteps of Advocate Baloyi, Advocate Mngome Zulu. So now let's watch this clip towards the end, and then after that I'll see you on the next upload. I'm trying by level best to be on top of this trial, because things now are getting interesting. Now let's watch this clip in the end, and then I'll see you on the next upload.
Paragraph 7.3.1. And your evidence in essence, let me read from paragraph 7.3.1. You say, during cross-examination, it was put to me by counsel for accused number 2, Bongani Sandi Ntanzi, that client was not in possession of Samsung model SMJ 005/D, as with IMEI numbers 3532 90085 09 8895, and I may 3532 9108 509 889. When pictures were edited as per original statement dated 16/04/2024, that is Exhibit DD5, and then in brackets pages 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. And according to the data, the pictures were accessed and edited on 2021 2021 how do I read this?
2021-01-04.
So that is the 4th of January 2021.
Correct, my
Okay.
lord.
7.3.2 screenshot of status as per original statement dated 2024-04-16 in brackets Exhibit DD5 reference to in brackets page 19. 7.3.3 photo that was taken on 2020 10/29 of newspaper article about current case as per original statement dated 2024-04-16 in brackets Exhibit DD5 reference page 20 in brackets. Picture was accessed and edited on 2021-01-11. You see that?
That's correct.
And then you say the section 205 data placed Bongane Ntanzi near cell tower 3G Queenswood NGA, that is 220 meters from Valeria SAPS.
That's correct, my lord.
And there's a picture there, I don't know what it depicts, but I'm not interested in it in any event. What I'm interested in is the following. This one that says section 205 data placed Bongane Ntanzi near cell phone tower. What is the basis of you saying that the tower placed the accused there?
Because the tower is 150 meters from Valeria police station. That's the nearest tower that was picked up by the cell phone. According to the section 205, not according by me.
You see, Colonel, the problem now becomes this. You remember the cross-examination of my learned colleague, Mr. Mgomezulu, when he put it to you that accused number 3 was not in forced arrest at the time of the commission of the offense. And your response was, you cannot say that accused number 3 was not there. You can only say that the device. You understand that?
So the device was, okay. If you put it to me, the device was in the cells where the accused was also, because this was 220 meters from the cells. So somebody else's phone that was in the cells?
Yes.
Is that what you...
Yes, because the problem becomes when you try to put ready-made inferences by saying a particular person, because he was 220 meters away from this tower, you can now, through the data record, say it is exactly this person that was 220 meters away editing these pictures. You see the problem?
It's a fact that accused number 2 was incarcerated at Villera police station.
That's not disputed, Mr. Ramasipiti. You also admitted that your client was inside the cells at Valeria.
Yes, I do.
So what's the problem? Now I argue the fact that it was not a cell or what, because the facts show that accused number 2 was arrested and incarcerated at Valeria, which is 150 or 200 meters away from that power post. I mean, please. So, unless you say what your client was in Rustenburg or Phuket or wherever, Natal or wherever, but you yourself, you yourself, you say your client was incarcerated in Valeria. And that pole is 200 meters, is it?
220 meters, my lord.
220 meters from the cells. So what are we getting at, please?
My lord, you see, what is good for the gander must also be good for the geese.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. The state cannot, in one instance, they say, no, only the device was here, but the person may have been somewhere
Yes, they
else.
can't say that. But in this case, according to you, your client was in Valeria.
Yes,
According to you.
yes.
That's it. So what are we arguing about?
My Lord, perhaps, you see, my Lord, at times, and I'll have to join Mr. Mgomezulu's sentiment, I'm not that kind of a person. My Lord has got a tendency to be impatient.
I'm not impatient.
No, I'm
just-
sorry, I'm sorry,
just
I had to
quoting
put
you.
it, my Lord.
Look,
No,
if
sorry.
I'm wrong,
Yes,
I admit, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you yourself, you said your client was at Valeria. And say, unless you say he was not there, fine. Then I withdraw everything.
because the other evidence that we need to hear, and that's been the trend, we need to hear it from the clients. Instead of the court saying, didn't you say so? Because he's going to say yes, because the court is validating that answer for the witness.
No, I'm not. Just quoting the evidence as you have
We-
admitted.
We are part of this evidence, my Lord. We read the same evidence, we hear the same evidence that His Lordship is hearing. My Lord, it's 1 o'clock. May we take a longer agenda?
And this witness, he can't know where your client was. He can only testify about the device. But me, having listened to you putting the assertions, you said your client was at Valeria. And when Mojano says he got the phone at Valeria, you said to your client, he is not telling the truth. That's all.
That's the court basis. my
So
Lord.
allow me excoriated for quoting the
No,
evidence.
no, my Lord. Let's take the long
my God.
agenda.
Yeah, Mr. Mnisi.